So earlier today, I was talking to Carthu. We were discussing the Dragon Ball Super 2022 movie, Dragon Ball Super New Hero, and he gave me a very interesting thought about Pan being in this film. In the panel that was revealed at San Diego Comic Con, we saw designs for Piccolo, Krillin, Pan, and a new character. But what's intriguing about this is the fact that Pan, she's aged. She's now in kindergarten, and Akio Iyoku himself said that Pan is going to be a an important character in this film. But could she actually be the centerpiece of the movie? And I think there's lots of evidence to prove it. And Carthu gave me his idea, and I said we got to do a video about this because I love his idea. I'm hopeful it's actually going to happen, and I have my own thoughts on it. So Carthu's here. What's up? You're right there. Hello.
Yo, hello everyone.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
I think this movie is going to be pretty cool based on the information we've got. And hopefully, if I'm right, me and Geekdom will be very excited for it, regardless of CGI or anything like it.
It's gonna be different from Dragon Ball Super Broly because based on what you and I
Right.
talked about, I feel like it could be a lot more heartwarming. So your idea, and I'm gonna let you go into more detail, is the idea that the reason why it's called Dragon Ball Superhero is that, and this is also stated that it's gonna be emphasizing the heroic aspect of Dragon Ball. When you look at Pan, who is she? She is the daughter of Gohan, Great Saiyan Man, a hero.
Mhm.
She is the granddaughter of Mr. Satan, the hero of the people. And she's the granddaughter of Goku, the hero of Dragon Ball, the main character. This cannot be an accident, yo. And this is why I'm
Mhm.
really confident this could be what we're talking about could happen. This could be a story. And I'm not saying it'll be just about Pan, but the theme of the movie could be Pan learning what a hero is, learning how to be a hero from her grandparents and her father, and sort of like this adorable, heartwarming story about Pan, maybe becoming a hero herself by learning from who these heroes are. And Piccolo and Krillin. Piccolo's a hero,
Mhm.
Krillin was the sheriff. Like, it just all seems to go well together. So what do you think about that? And take us through your idea and kind of like, what to add to what I just said.
Yeah, so I think this movie could definitely be a centerpiece for Pan to discover the heroes in the Dragon Ball world. Krillin as a police officer using his martial arts ability to better the world in a way he sees fit. Goku being the unintentional hero that he is. The Great Saiyaman being her father, the very intentional hero. Mr. Satan being the boastful hero. And then, notably, something I don't think is very discussed, at least as far as I've spoken to people. Why did we see Piccolo's house? It's such a minor detail. It's like something you would see as an Easter egg in Kakarot or something,
Right, right.
rather than something that's necessary for a movie. Unless this movie is about Han meeting or meeting with and learning more about these hero like figures in Dragon Ball more personally. These slice of life moments rather than these intense action, the universe will be destroyed thriller that we're used to getting. I think this could very easily be the reason that we're seeing things like Piccolo's house, Krillin in his police uniform only,
Right.
whereas Piccolo we saw two outfits for, and it could really tie together the whole hero aspect without forcing the idea of being a superhero down Goku's throat.
And I love the idea because this has been discussed by the fandom for years. Is Goku a
Mhm.
hero? Toriyama said different statements about it. Obviously, the anime version of Goku back in the day, Toei made him more heroic. And I've always felt that Goku is a hero, but like you said,
Yeah.
he's not Captain America. And if this
Mhm.
movie is going to solidify to us that Goku is a hero, just not the hero that like I say, he's not like Superman or Batman, he's his own kind of hero, at least in the eyes of Pan. It's just a beautiful story. I mean, I when we talked about this, right, I pictured like the movie ending with her going to kindergarten, like some kids getting bullied, and she
Mhm.
steps in and like protects the kid, and that's how the movie
Right.
ends. And she gives the thumbs up to the camera because we know even in GT, which is not part of the super story, she idolizes Grandpa Goku, and if that, and even
Right.
forget GT, even in the final three
And
episodes
to
of Z,
Z.
the end of Z, it's really more so in the anime. She loves Grandpa Goku, and
Yeah.
if this movie, if it's not going to be a crazy movie like Dragon Ball Super Broly with, like you said, the universal threats, this heartwarming story of Pan sort of discovering her lineage and discovering, what she's capable of being, and maybe like the Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility from Satan, Goku, and Gohan. Dude, I
Right.
would. This is this could be a great. This could be it could be the most heartwarming Dragon Ball movie we've ever gotten. And going
Mhm.
back to Battle of Gods, I've talked about this. One of my favorite moments of all time in Battle of Gods is when Gohan finds out that Vidal's pregnant. That moment
Yeah.
moves me. It's the realest freaking moment in that whole movie because in real life, if you're gonna have a baby and you actually are a
Mhm.
good father, that's like a great moment finding out your wife is pregnant. And we don't ever see that kind of stuff in Dragon Ball. So
Right.
having this kind of tie back to that, man, I really hope we see that, dude. Go ahead, man. I'm fanboying out over something that might not
Yeah.
even happen.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have like you said, some evidence that at the very least something like this could happen. Pan playing some notable role in the movie, and
Hayashida
also
said it was slice of
yes,
life moments. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to
correct,
mention that. Yeah.
with interjected action sequences between. Which, if what I'm talking about is real, that's very easy to do, right? The slice of life is Pan's interaction with these individuals, probably with Gohan as an escort, or maybe even Goku as an escort, taking her around on the Kinto Un.
Or
Um,
Krillin.
or Krillin, whoever's. I think Krillin would be one of the stops more so. But
Right,
I
maybe.
think I think just to have Goku in the movie because they Toei, but to keep Goku in the movie and having him be the escort between Piccolo's house and all these other places and stuff, as Pan then talks to these people, but then sees their heroics in action, hence the interlaced action sequences rather than an overarching one. We have these mini action sequences showing these heroics and things like that. Piccolo is honestly a cool case if done right, because Piccolo, of course, used to be the Demon King and is now once again the nameless Namekian plus Nail. And so we
Right.
have something internally in Piccolo that he could build upon, not only from the hero aspect, but from the villain aspect. And so we have these deeper character motivations. I know a lot of Dragon Ball fans love the spectacle, but sometimes the spectacle is emphasized more by the characters that make that spectacle. So if
Yes.
we can build those characters and really make us feel a type of way, understand who they are, and see them even more so from the eyes of a child in the most simplest view possible, then perhaps we can garner a greater appreciation for these, some of them sidelined characters for the most part, and what their role could be in the future.
I mean, I like the idea of the movie being the opposite of Broly. Like you said, Broly
Right.
was all spectacle. Broly was all Sakuga. Like, and also Broly was a dark film because the first act is all about the past, this genocide of the Saiyans, all that stuff. But
Hmm.
this movie's not going to have that, presumably. Well, it won't have that at
Right.
all. We know that. It's just going to be a movie. And I like the idea of it being. People are going to sit there and they're going to get the wrong idea and say, well, Dragon Ball's going soft. It's too cutesy. No, not necessarily, because we see films every year, critical films, Pixar movies that have
Hmm.
these heartwarming family moments, but they still teach a good lesson. They're still very smart movies. No one's going to say that
Yep.
most Pixar movies are bad because objectively they're not. So if this movie can take away from being like, it's not going to be like Broly where everything's crazy.
Mhm.
I'm actually okay with that. And then maybe if they come back with the next movie and make it crazy again, I'm
Right.
fine with that. Like I would actually be fine with that as a Dragon Ball fan to kind of have that yin and yang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's a fine line between something that's, because I've even thought about it, how to make a movie from the perspective of a child not feel like a children's movie, to have a wide net. And like you say, Pixar is a great example of having the ability to make something that is from a child's perspective, or at the very least, childlike things like maybe toys or your inner emotions as a child, right? Um,
Right.
those aspects, taking those and making a fine line where there are emotionally resonant scenes, where there are things that even as an adult you can feel like, wow, this is kind of dark almost, but it's sort of so real and visceral that it should be here. It's not out of place in this more lighthearted of a film. And so if we can strike that balance with this movie, we can have something that sets the stage for Dragon Ball to be more than Unga Dunga Punchy Punchy, which is like what a ton of non Dragon Ball fans tend to associate the series with via maybe just watching the fights on YouTube that get millions of views and re-uploaded every week, or
Right.
maybe via just what they heard from friends, like, oh yeah, you guys see this fight, this
Playing the
fight, this fight.
games.
Yeah, and the underlying characters are lost in that sequence as you cut the dialogue out, as you skip episodes for fights, as you miss chapters or don't read the chapters. You miss what the characters and who the
Context.
characters are and the context. And
Right.
that makes the series a much more rich series than people give it credit for. Is it the best thing ever written? Is Dragon Ball the best thing ever written? No, obviously not. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I've always used this, which is something AJ said, and I'm paraphrasing here. Anime AJ, for those to be clear. Dragon Ball wouldn't have created a genre on its back if it was poorly written.
I agree. And also, like George Lucas once said, a special effect without a story is kind of worthless. Like, you got to have a good
Yeah.
story, good characters. And it does irritate me when people like, there's people out there who only know Dragon Ball from the video games, and like you said, watching clips on YouTube. They never actually watched the show at
Yeah.
all. And yeah, the fights are great. No one's denying that. But you're missing why the fights matter. And if this movie's going to give us more substance than style, I'm all for it. Plus, from a marketing perspective, if this is a film that can be marketed towards the family to where people say, okay, yeah, it's going to be violent action, but you can bring your daughter to this. You can, like something like that. Parents who think about it, who were fans of Dragon Ball either in Japan back in the day, in Latin America in the 90s, or even in Toonami, we're all in our 20s and 30s, sometimes even 40s. We all have, I don't have any kids, but a lot of people have kids.
Right.
You know, and so that's kind of good marketing, bro. And honestly, dude, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, no, we want the violence. And I do too. I would love Dragon Ball to be bloody again. But I'm okay with them, even if it's still bloody. I like the idea of them doing a story where it's about Pan learning what it's like to be a hero from Goku, and kind of like maybe she sees like Gohan and Satan fail and then sees Goku like victorious, and then like she idolizes him, you know, like I don't know. What do you think? Do you think like what do you think the story of Pan is going to be in this film? Like, do you have any idea? Just even if it's a crazy idea, what would you like to see? How about that?
If my idea, well, first we have to talk that this is probably after End of Z.
Or right before. Has to be either right before or right after. Has to be.
Well, isn't Pan 4 in End of Z? And now she's 5. This is Japanese kindergarten, so it's still
Japanese
5.
kindergarten. Yeah, I thought Japanese
It's
kindergarten was
5.
4 or 5. Well, it's relative. Yeah,
5.
right around there. Yeah.
But so I mean, like, there's been issues with Pan's age due to the way the super timeline works anyway.
And the dub.
But yeah, so
GT
it could be possible that Pan is 5 and it's just before the end of Z.
And that's how she learns to idolize Grandpa, right?
Yeah. And so if it's that, then I think the whole idea of it being even more so than just idolizing Goku, but like it being a big trip with Goku makes more sense. And it means it really furthers what their relationship was before he leaves to go train Oob. So I think really fundamentally what I want to see from this journey is not only Pan garnering respect and understanding and learning what a hero is. I think it should be Goku acknowledging, and he has acknowledged this before, but acknowledging that he's not the ideal hero in a lot of senses. I am one of the naysayers who says that Goku is a hero.
No,
I mean,
me
that's
too.
actually
Me too.
that's the unpopular opinion. But regardless of what
care.
you think, a guy saying he's going to stop you from blowing up the earth and destroying the universe and stuff is a hero, regardless of Toriyama's external statements from a series he was disgruntled with by the end. So I don't give a crap what a Toriyama says at that point.
Right.
But if we're talking about Goku with his own sense of self, he doesn't consider himself a hero. And so maybe Pan wants to know more about heroes. And thus it's Goku saying, "Oh, well, here's all these other people I think are heroes." And so we garner a bit more of Goku's perspective and his respect for people like Piccolo, Krillin, and the other
Bro.
people in his life. Even your dad's a hero. Even Mr. Satan's a hero. He may not, but didn't Grandpa Satan not defeat Cell? Papa told me that was a lie. He helped us beat Boo, though. And so it is a hero in his own right. And these sort of things could actually bring some adult, even though Goku's childish, but adult groundedness to the childlike perspective that I'd like to see in this movie. And so these two elements combined, I think could make like a really interesting and enticing film.
No, dude, and everything you just said, I agree with. And actually, what I would love to see, dude, is like, okay, we
Mhm.
see Goku do UI, whatever, he's a badass. And then at the end, Pan's like, oh, you're my hero. And then Goku says, like, well, you know who the real hero is? Your father. That moment right there, bro, where he
Mhm.
puts over Gohan, right? Just to kind of like, make her love her,
Yeah.
people do that. That would, because then Goku's like acknowledging, I don't even think I'm a hero. But I think
Right.
Gohan is, because he's going out there fighting crime and all this stuff. And, just if Goku did that, that to me is even more powerful than him saying, call me Kakarot or whatever. Like, that's even
Mhm.
more powerful to me, because that's like what family's about, bro. Dude, you got me excited,
Yeah.
bro. I really hope this happens in the film. Also, Karthu has
Yes.
a more detailed video on his channel about this idea. I don't like using the
Correct.
word theory because it actually might happen. I guess it's still a theory.
Well,
On his channel, I'll
it
leave a
wouldn't be
link
the
down
first
below.
time I was right.
No, you've been right before. I've been right
I
before.
have a
We've also
good,
been wrong. Because you did
yeah,
say it was going to be part one of two
I have a good,
of Moro, remember?
I said if I had to wager a guess of anything, because I thought Cooler was no shot in hell. If I had to wager a guess at anything that we had tangibly known already, that would be my guess. But we
Right,
didn't have anything. Like I based all,
right.
if my real guesses that I'll bet money on are based off information. So it's like the time where I said what Goku's unnamed, unknown new form in the Tournament of Power, I said it would be Ultra Instinct, not the name, but what the form actually does. I called it back to what we said it would be
The
way before it was
self
revealed in the
movement.
anime.
Right.
I've kind of called God of Destruction Vegeta. People are starting to comment on that old
That
video
wasn't just
now.
you. That wasn't just
No,
you.
no, this is years ago, dude.
That's been
Years.
around. That's been
All
around, though.
right, years ago though. I'm telling you, before UI, before Angel Goku shit, years
Right. No,
ago.
no, I've heard that since like 2015. Like God of
Yeah,
Destruction
this is
Vegeta.
fair.
Right.
But between those two are like my biggest W's, right? I've had some L's, all right. I'll take the L on the Grand Priest
We
one that
all
I
have
made a
them.
long time ago.
Dude,
but
don't forget, I made a video in 2015 where I said we're never going to see Broly, Evil, Goku, or Trunks. Like,
that's
you just can't.
That's a strikeout. You got to go back to the dugout, my man.
I got to get traded to
You're
another
not
team.
at bat anymore.
I'm
You
going back to
swung
the
3
double A
times.
leagues. I'm going back to the double A leagues.
You got demoted.
But here's the thing that's funny about all this, though, that we're talking about is Dragon Ball so unpredictable. Did you ever think we get a story of this movie that might be either right before or right after End of Z this soon? I mean, they've been dangling that carrot for years now, and it looks like we're close. We're at least close.
I need us to get past the point
Me
of
too.
End of Z.
Me too.
And it's no other
Tomorrow.
reason than at this point, this shit is getting ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
We are within 3, or depending on how you look at the timeline, 3 or 4 years of the End of Z.
And
that's
this
how close
movie
we are,
is
which
even
is
closer.
a lie. Yeah, which makes Bulma a liar. I haven't seen you in 5 years.
Right.
And it really it muddies the water as to what's going on. The more it goes on, the worse it's going to be as we approach End of Z. End of Z is supposed to be a time skip, and you had 5 years to play with in between Boo and the point where Bulma shouldn't see Goku and them anymore.
We're way past that.
Yeah, you know what they did? They made Battle of Gods 4 years. They took up 4 years before Battle of Gods even started, and
Yeah,
said
but
time skip.
They didn't know they were going to make a whole series at the time, so I'm going to give them a break on that.
That's
one.
true.
You know?
That's true. They could have retconned it in Super, though. They could have retconned it in Super.
Well, some
had
think
their
they
chance.
did. Some
Yeah,
think they
something they
did.
did, but then you watch Broly and then you do the math and the ages don't quite add up. Or you do
Right.
the 39 years math and that math doesn't add up. So
No, not
there's
even
still a
close.
lot of consistent math. And also, a lot of people ignore this line because it's poorly worded in the subtitles. I don't remember what the subtitles say, but in the anime for Super, they say some time has
Sometime.
passed since I believe when Mr. Satan gave the money, and it's some time has passed. It's an unspecified amount of time. I don't know why it's so ambiguous. They could have just said 4 years, but or 3.5 years at that point because the money thing was like 6 months after Boo. But whatever it is, uh, that small a statement is all you need, and then everything else adds up to the timeline that we're in right now. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Pan was born the year after Boo? Do you guys think that Gohan and Videl got married the year after Boo
No,
when they were
that's
still in high school at 16? No, these
right.
things are all timed out.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And there's also,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get into it in this video. There's a lot of inconsistencies with like the games, and it just muddies the water,
right.
as you said. So we need to get past it. Plus,
Yeah.
I want to get to a story that we don't know what's gonna happen. We know everybody survives. Maybe they're gonna do
Hmm.
something where nobody survives. That's the drama. But anyways, folks, check out Carthu, his channel and the video down below, and let us know what you think about this whole topic about the hidden meaning behind this movie. I hope we're
Right.
right. Just because, not even because, nothing to do with bragging, just it makes sense with the title, and it's something I want to see. So
Yes, it's something different, and I think as Dragon Ball fans, getting something different, even if you're scared of different, is a good thing. It's good for the franchise. It's good to have more avenues, and it's good for the sake of the characters.
agreed. We'll talk to you next time.